What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to the Triassic Iceman YouTube channel. Wow. So it happened, huh? Many of us weren't expecting this trailer to release until the Super Bowl. Now, I don't watch Fool's Ball, so I wasn't going to be watching the Super Bowl, but I probably was going to check out and see if this trailer was released on that day. But with that being said, it happened, you know? Several days before the Super Bowl. Who's even playing in the Super Bowl? Does anyone know? But nonetheless, my first impression of it was, man, this actually looks a little better than I was expecting. Now, I think that a lot of us were hesitant because of the Jurassic World franchise thus far, right? But of course, the thing about this one, they have the screenwriter from the original Jurassic Park. They have that Garth Edwards, is that his name? Or is it Gareth Edwards, who directed Godzilla, the original 2014 Godzilla for the Monsterverse, which is far better than all the other ones in my opinion. They say that he has a way with scale, and the Jurassic World franchise missed out on that. The Godzilla films after Godzilla 2014 missed out on that. Scale being, it was from like the people's perspective, and you could see the big monsters and how they compare to the environments around them. They just seemed more real. So that's part of why I think that this could be a halfway decent film for what we're used to. Now, it's crazy how this really reminded me of the Peter Jackson King Kong film. Have you guys seen that? I saw that in the theaters when I was a teenager, and I was like, this film's amazing. You know, and I did think at that time, what would it be like if they made a Jurassic film like this? You know, it's kind of like the film that I feel like we all wanted, where a group of folks just go out to the damn island and do what they will out there for some odd mission or whatever, and just have it be real. Have it be horror-esque like the novel. Don't have it be like Jurassic Park 3, because they kind of did that in Jurassic Park 3. But I just feel like that film didn't really take itself all that seriously. It was kind of a silly spin-off. It had a completely different director, and I know this one does as well. But again, this director at least directed Godzilla 2014, which I think was a pretty damn good film looking back. It was very depressing. I didn't like that part about it. But outside of that, it was pretty well done. And it seems like this one's a bit more upbeat. There was actually some jokes in the trailer, this and that. But one of the things that I'm most excited about when it comes to this one is just how it seems like they are bringing the scale back. They've done away with a lot of the crap that I think was wrong with Jurassic World. From the dinosaurs that I've seen so far, we've seen the T-Rex, right? We've seen its head in the water. They say that's inspired by the novel River Raft Scene. You guys got to read the novel if you haven't. Great novel, but it just looks more real than what we're used to in the Jurassic World franchise. Like the head just swishing around in the novel. Or in the film even, in this trailer, it looks pretty damn good. And that's kind of what I wanted, was a King Kong Peter Jackson-like film, only in the Jurassic World universe. And it seems like that's kind of what we're getting. The human things. There's some weird... So what they talk about in the trailer is how they're going back to the island to find samples from dinosaurs or whatever, some of the biggest dinosaurs out there, and they remark on how the island was used for experimental purposes for the original Jurassic Park. The stuff that's on the island, it was too dangerous to have in the park, so they just kept it on the island. And it seems like they're finally going with this whole human hybrid concept, which I really didn't like the idea of. But if they do it right, if they sort of just ease it in, and they don't have it like be the center of the frickin' film the whole time, like how it seems like the Indoraptor was in Fallen Kingdom. Not that I've seen that film, but I think I have the gist of it. So the human things, they're these giant sort of dinosaur human-like things with big arms. It seems like they're more like monsters, and I don't think they're as intelligent as humans. I don't know. They're like big apes or something. They're like big apes. They're like King Kong kind of, only super evil. So it just seems like these might be hunting them through some of the film. And from what I've seen of them so far, I thought it was okay. As long as, I mean, We're under the assumption that this island was in existence for decades, and apparently the dinosaurs, Spinosaurus, which was in the trailer, Mosasaur, which is a water thing, so it's not as applicable, but the T-Rex, the Raptors, the Diplodocus we see in the trailer, or whatever the hell they are, Titanosauruses, I don't really know what they are. But we see all these animals coexisting with these, let's just call them King Kong hybrid things, all right? Because I don't really want to call them human hybrids, because I mean, the human hybrid thing, I just really didn't like the idea of that. It just sounded so dumb. But if these are more like apes or just big gorillas or something, or maybe a little bit more intelligent than a gorilla, I'm kind of okay with that. And we're under the assumption that they've existed with the dinosaurs since the beginning of this island, right? So they must not be that like beyond the dinosaurs when it comes to their threat and when it comes to their dominance of their territories and this and that. So it almost seems like, you know, as long as they can keep them sort of separate, where they still see dinosaurs, they still see them kind of abiding in their natural habitats. We get the big ooh, ah moments, right? Harkening back to Ian Malcolm in The Lost World. As long as we get all that, and at the same time, maybe get the sort of horror scenes that we get with these human ape King Kong like hybrids, I think that'll be okay. And as long as they still make the predators in the dinosaur kingdom still formidable, like if we get some good scenes with the T-Rex, we get some good scenes with the Raptors, I think it could be halfway decent. But let me know what your thoughts are on that in the comments below. Are you guys looking forward to this film? I might make a couple more speculation videos on Jurassic World Rebirth. It just seems like the scale, the presentation, it really reminds me of Skull Island. Am I the only one? Let me know in the comments. Does this trailer remind you of Skull Island? I mean, watch the trailer for Peter Jackson's Skull Island. It just seems to have that same tonality and stuff. Now, I don't know if we're going to get the Jurassic Park theme in some of it. I'm sure, hopefully, we'll get some sort of rendition of it. I like the guy who did the soundtrack for Jurassic World. I was really impressed by that. You know, it's like, oh, damn, it's not John Williams. It's going to be some other guy. How's this ever going to work? But he did a damn good job. If you guys listen to the Jurassic World soundtrack, it's amazing. I don't know who's doing the soundtrack for this, so I'm going to look into that. I don't really know what the budget is. I'm going to look into that as well. I did have a few concerns when it was mentioned how Scarlett Johansson was going to be the lead. My concern with that is, consider the original Jurassic Park, all right? All the leads in that, nobody really knew who they were, right? They knew who Samuel L. Jackson was, but I mean, he wasn't that big of a role in that film. You know, they knew who Jeff Goldblum was just a little bit, but he wasn't nearly as peak of his fame as he is now. So these were kind of relatively unknown actors, you know? So it just wanted to show that a lot of the focus on the film was the film itself and wasn't just the actors that you have in it. And the big names that you have in it to get people in the seats. You know, that's what was interesting. What got you in the seats was, this is a dinosaur film. This is something we haven't seen before. This is based on the Michael Crichton novel, this and that. That's what was the intrigue. So it concerns me a little bit when they have these big budget actors or actresses, like I said, Scarlett Johansson is one of the most highly paid actresses in the field right now. When they have them, a lot of their budget's going to that, you know? And is that really a perfect fit for the film? I don't know. I mean, it seems like it could be okay. But, and she's actually the only one that I'm familiar with who I saw on the cast. So, but my concern with that, when they put big names, a lot of the budget goes to that. And I don't know, maybe they're focusing more on that than the film, but we'll see. I'm pretty optimistic about it. I'm sure there's going to be shit I don't like about the film, but for what we get in today, for today's standards, maybe this will be okay. But let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this? Are you excited for the film? I'll be covering more of it on this channel, so stay tuned. Like this video if you will, subscribe to the page, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace be with you.